You've heard of salty exes, but this is next level, royal grade bitterness. Let's rewind to 1570s Europe, where thrones were power moves. Marriage was a geopolitical chess match, and Henry III of France was very much playing to win. And the prize? Queen Elizabeth I of England. Yes, the Elizabeth, the Virgin Queen, ruling with a sharp tongue and sharper politics. She wasn't just England's monarch. She was Europe's most eligible bachelorette and quite possibly the most exhausting match to propose to. Now, Henry, or as he was known then, the Duke of Anjou, wasn't exactly low on options. He was the youngest son of Catherine de' Medici, yes, that Catherine, brother to the French king, and eventually king himself. But at this moment, he was 18, politically ambitious, and, let's be honest, desperate for a power alliance. Cue the proposal to Lizzie. But here's the thing, Elizabeth was nearly 38. Henry? A sprightly, perfumed peacock of a prince at 18. That's a 20-year age gap, and while it raised some English eyebrows, age wasn't the main issue. Europe was crawling with royal May-December couples. The real problem? Religion. Henry was Catholic. Elizabeth was Protestant. That little theological footnote had already caused, oh, I don't know, a few wars. So marrying a French Catholic prince? That wasn't going to win her popularity points with her Protestant subjects. But here's the twist, Elizabeth was kinda into it. Or at least, she played the game like she was. Letters were exchanged. Portraits were sent. Henry even visited England. Twice. Rumors swirled that she found him charming, witty, exotic by English standards. She called him her frog. Yes, that was supposed to be affectionate. And yet, she kept delaying, negotiating, dangling the possibility without ever saying, I do. Classic Elizabeth move, diplomatic flirtation. Keep the suitor hopeful while using the alliance as political leverage. She knew she was a hot commodity. And Henry? He got played. After years of back and forth, proposals, visits, negotiations, Elizabeth finally ghosted. Politely, royal style. She dropped the marriage talks like a hot potato and kept the throne, the independence, and the upper hand. Henry naturally lost it, and that's when he allegedly referred to Elizabeth I as a putain publique. Translation? Public whore. Then he threw in some low blows about their age gap. Classy. But let's be real, this wasn't just a jilted lover's tantrum. This was about power. Elizabeth rejecting Henry wasn't just romantic, it was political. It was a Protestant queen publicly saying no thanks to Catholic France. That stung, but some reports flipped the script. They say Elizabeth heard the rumors, that Henry mocked her age and called her a putain publique. That's when she sealed the deal. Blocked. Deleted. Goodbye. So whether she ghosted first or he insulted first, one thing's clear. The courtship flopped. And the tea was scalding. And yet, things thawed later. Historian Estelle Perronc found letters between Elizabeth and Henry from their later years, suggesting they actually became close confidants. But let's talk about Henry for a second, because this man wasn't exactly your typical suitor. Oh no, Henry III was a vibe. He was his mother Catherine de' Medici's favorite. She called him Precious Eyes. He wore silk, pearls, dramatic ruffles, and more jewelry than his mom. His portraits? They don't whisper royalty, they scream runway. You could hang one in a modern gallery and no one would blink. This man didn't just enter a room, he made an entrance. Scented gloves, flawless eyeliner, the works. His court was filled with male favorites, nicknamed the mignons, French for pretty boys or darlings, who were often just as flamboyant as he was. Gossip about his relationships with them? Oh, it was everywhere. Now, was he actually gay or bisexual? We can't say for sure. Historians still debate it. But contemporary observers were scandalized. Pamphlets mocked him as effeminate. Foreign ambassadors whispered about unmanly behavior. One chronicler flat out said he dressed more glam than a royal mistress. Of course, in Renaissance France, coded queerness was a political weapon. Enemies used it to undermine him. Protestant pamphleteers especially loved painting him as a decadent, immoral Catholic, a walking warning sign of what happens when you ditch good Protestant values for eyeliner and scented gloves. And here's the kicker. His rule was a mess. Religious wars, civil strife, assassinations. Henry spent most of his reign juggling crisis after crisis. He even had his rival, the powerful Duke of Guise, assassinated in 1588. And the karma? Swift. A year later, a fanatical monk stabbed Henry to death. Why? Because of his tolerance for Protestants. Ironic, isn't it? So in the end, the peacock prince who once thirsted for England's throne died with no wife, no heir, and a long list of enemies. Elizabeth? She outlived him by more than a decade. Never married, ruled solo, and didn't have to share her crown or her power with anyone. Moral of the story? If you come for the queen, bring more than perfume and a power grab. Otherwise, you might end up in the history books as the salty guy who called her a public whore after she left you on read.